have a go, no go point where there is a point on that ramp where I know I'm committed and I can't slow down.
I literally watched an early preview of the film this morning. My adrenaline's still pumping.
Oh, good.
I feel like it's an intravenous drip of adrenaline and action to the veins. What a movie.
Thank
you know, you make films for the big screen. I wondered with you, just before it hits the cinemas, do you sit back and watch it on a big screen, or is it in a tiny edit suite?
We're working and combing over every single frame, every sound, every musical note. Christopher McQuarrie and I are combing over every aspect of it, and we put it on a big screen so that we can see, you know, and you know, when you're looking at Dolby Vision and making sure that each print, you know, for every big format, that it's absolutely correct for the audience.
Oh, 100%. I mean, my seat was shaking and vibrating.
Good.
I felt I was
Good.
in the action. I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan,
thank you.
I feel like Ethan Hunt goes on a bit of a journey, but normally he always feels in control. He's normally 2 steps ahead of the enemy, and in this film it felt like maybe he was just starting to get outsmarted. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, listen, the pressure, you feel that, you know, Ethan. The key with playing that character is he never really wants to do the extreme things that he does. And you want, things are, he's behind it a little bit. We've also had that in, you know, if you look at Rogue and in Fallout, he's trying to outthink, you know, his nemesis or the protagonist. So there's pieces, it has that. It has all that.
But
all
it's,
that adventure.
yeah. Because I suppose, you're right. In the other films, you're trying to be 2 steps ahead as Ethan. In this movie, it's the AI.
Isn't that in life? We always want to be 2 steps ahead, you know. So we'll just see. We don't want to give too much away.
No.
We don't want to give too much away for the audience. But yeah, we're always he's definitely on his back foot the whole time, which makes it fun for the audience to see how is this going to end up. Where's it going to go?
100%.
Where will this lead us?
Ethan, this mission of yours is gonna cost you dearly.
You are the king of keeping us guessing. That's why
I'm trying. And Christopher McQuarrie too. It's like both of us, we love, you know, we want to keep the audience on the edge of their seat.
Oh, yeah, you two are the kings of the plot twist after plot twist. I have trust issues because of these films. I really
Well,
do.
you see that scene with Haley, you know, it's like...
It's brilliant. Fantastic.
That moment is like, I love that behavior.
So cool.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
So good. You've had
Great
an
cast.
unbelievable cast. Always casting,
Incredible.
you know, brilliant, strong women characters in there.
Yeah.
Again, that's another reason, as a woman watching it, you feel empowered, you love it. I want to talk a bit about the gadgets, because going from like the first Mission film, you have the exploding chewing gum, you have, I don't know what the official term is, the sticky...
We have the magic trick.
The magic trick.
Yeah, the magic trick. Yeah,
Yes,
Ghost Protocol, the red light, green light, you know?
Yes.
Blue is glue, red is dead.
Red
Blue
is
is glue, red is dead.
Blue is glue.
And when it's red?
Dead.
Yeah, with the gloves.
Yes.
And I wondered in how it works. Do you have a real life Benji who shows you gadgets to sort of maybe use in your upcoming films?
We're always having these guys say, bring us stuff. You know, what kind of things, you know, do you want to bring us? I'm always like, we come up with things and for story, and then we're also just sit around and talk about what gadgets would be fun. You know, what's going to help us tell a story. So it kind of goes both ways. You know, when we're working with people, very specific about interviewing and hiring the people that love this kind of movie, and ask them to please contribute and bring ideas. So it goes back and forth. You know, the helmet that I wore in Fallout when I was skydiving, a lot of technology goes into that because you have to develop, I'm at 25,000 feet, so it had to have oxygen. We have lights inside that helmet. You have to watch out for and test it so we don't have fires inside that mask. That would be unpleasant. As I'm jumping, having a fire in my face. So there's
That's one thing you haven't done.
Yes. So the crews that we have that work on these films, they are very, very skilled and creative, and they bring a lot, and they also know the kind of preparation that you have to have for Mission Impossible, because we'll come up with things, and then there's just, you can see, like, it's years of training to be able to do the jump off that cliff. It's years. I mean, McHugh and I have been making movies together for 16 years, and I've been riding motorcycles and parachuting and doing jumps since I was a kid. Not like that, of course. But the kind of evaluation and technology and ability, you have to break things down like that. And, from the motorcycle to the ramp, the engineering on the ramp, just to bring it on top of that mountain, to build that ramp on the mountain. There's just every level. That's what I love about movies and these kinds of films, that the kind of skill, the kind of craftsmanship, not people see me in the movie, but I'm always looking at it going, I love the people I work with, the actors, Christopher McQuarrie, the whole crew. I love them, and I really, when they bring stuff and they make these things work, I really respect them, and and we're all in it to entertain the audience.
You can feel that gel. That's why it works.
Yeah,
you
does.
can see how you're working behind the scenes and on the screen. Let's talk about that stunt, because that is the one everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
The ramp and the motorcycle. The margin for error looked. I mean, it's not even a very wide ramp for one.
The key is me hitting certain speeds and being consistent with that. There's no speedometer, so I do it by sound and feel of the bike.
There was a lot going on. There was a lot of preparation to figure that out, and it took. That's why I had them design. So I put a GPS on my back so that I could see and where the wind currents are coming. Everything. The amount of knowledge that goes into something like that is very exciting. I enjoy learning. And I enjoy pushing cinema in that way.
The only things you really have to avoid while doing a stunt like this is serious injury or death. Here we go. You're riding a motorcycle, which is pretty dangerous, on top of a ramp that's elevated off the ground, so if you come off the ramp, that's gonna be very bad. You're falling. If you don't get a clean exit from the bike and you get tangled up with it, if you don't open your parachute, you're not gonna make it.
But even just as I'm going, the helicopter that's going over, the kind of I had to be in sync with that helicopter pilot, because if he's in the wrong position, he's going to blow me off the ramp. I had a drone that's following me. And I can do these things, but if we don't get the shot, we don't get the shot. And also you could see in the electronic press kit that I'm jumping out of a helicopter right before I do it, because I have to test the wind currents in the bowl that change very quickly. So as soon as I do that jump, and you could see that when I opened, I was a little off because I had a crosswind. And as my shoulder was just a little up, and the parachute opened, and the second it opens, it was pulling me into the side of the mountain. So I had to quickly once you pull, you have to quickly be ready to adjust, the direction of the parachute. But then there's also performance that I'm thinking about, where you have to feel and see, have the audience see that is, I'm acting. Plus I have to know the speed of the bike, the helicopter, if he's in the wrong position. And I have which we didn't really talk about in the electronic press kit, which is I have a go no go point, where there is a point on that ramp where I know I'm committed, and I can slow down, but I can't come off the throttle at that point. If I'm going to stop, I really have to. There's a go no go where it's like right at this point, you're in. And even if the helicopter or the drone's in the wrong position, once I pass that point, no matter what, I'm committed. And I can't slow down. I have to go as fast as I can off the edge of that ramp. So those kinds of things. And what I love is that we sent that out. Mikio and I were like, but for the audience, they think that's it. They think that's the moment. Yeah. And there's so much more to this movie. There's so much more.
There is so much more.
I know.
They think that's the only stunt.
They think that's all. It was like, okay, wait, the story, the story and this magnificent cast.
Oh. Just brilliant, working with all your friends all over again. You can see that.
And the years, it took years to make this film. I was like, guys, sorry.
Sorry, it took
just not because of us. There was some interruptions in the making of this film that in all of our lives.
Of course. We're so glad it's finally here, and
Oh my gosh.
You've left us already wanting part 2.
Good.
Immediately.
Good,
I wanted to binge watch it back to back. That's how I felt.
Thank you.
Obviously, you filmed a lot of this in the UK, in Derbyshire, in the Lake District.
Yeah.
Did you manage to sort of get involved a little bit? Because I know you were there for quite a while. Or was it just always on set and then back to your apartment?
We're pretty limited in terms of where we are allowed to go, just because of the nature when we were shooting during the pandemic. And even to just be able to get, we had to work with governments and, across the globe. I'm very grateful. Rome, Venice, Abu Dhabi, Norway, England. I've been making movies here since I was a kid. I love making movies here in England.
Oh, well, everyone loves to have you.
Good.
And, you know,
I'm
working
glad.
in radio, we
Good.
had people calling in saying they'd seen Tom Cruise on a dog walk. Couldn't believe it.
Good. Yes, I actually did.
Yeah.
I'd be with McHugh. He's got his dogs, and we'd meet in the park and just go walking together. And we're always working on movies. We're always talking story as we're going along.
Just quickly back on the stunts, because what you described to me earlier blows my mind. You know, the science, the fractions, and the just.
Yeah,
getting...
I had a few seconds where, and what's interesting when I'm doing things like this, because look, I fly. My whole life, I wanted to fly jets and airplanes and helicopters and parachutes and speed flying, you know, and sing and dance and, you know, just really see how can I like adventure and just personally in my life, and I want to be able to create that on screen. So all of those things, as I'm going through it, it's a lot of training, and it's really, you have to stay on top. There's a lot of study, which I enjoy, and so.
Which things have you learnt the hard way? I read one thing.
There's always the hard way,
There's
isn't
always
there?
the hard
There's always the hard way. I mean, I don't know. There's always something where, you know, obviously I've broken some pieces of my body, you know. But even since I was a little kid, I was one of those guys that climbed the tree and fallen out of trees and off roofs. You know, I would get to on top of the roof, and I lived in Canada for a while, and they had snow, so I was like, oh man, I can do a flip, you know. And then I'm like, oh, I can do 2 flips. Maybe I'll get a double, you know what I mean? And I'm a little kid. I'm going, I did the flip, and I landed in the snowbank, and now I'm going to try to do a double, and you know, you need a little more vertical takeoff for the double, and there was the concrete right there, and I hit that, and you know, you learn, well, concrete and bodies, they don't really. Not a good idea.
Lesson 1.
I'm good. I heal fast, so that's good.
That's great. So are you still that kid inside then when you do these big stunts, or do you now have to do you have to say a mantra to yourself, or what do you say? What is Tom Cruise saying before he does a mad stunt?
Well, sometimes McHugh will go, don't smile, you know, because I realize, like, my gosh, I'm don't, you know, because we're in the middle of a scene. I'm just going through. I'm thinking performance. I know when I'm doing something, I know where all the cameras are, and I really know where everyone is and what the shot is and what the performance we're looking for. And I definitely don't want people to be worried about me. You know, it's something that this is the moment. I'm as competent as I can be at this particular moment when we're going to do it. And I've been very meticulous about breaking it down. And it's something that, well, I'm thinking about story, I'm thinking about performance, and I know technically what I need to do when I'm drifting a car single-handed, and I know I'm responsible for everyone, you know, for the city that I'm in, for the actors that are in that car with me, or if in a helicopter or an airplane, whatever it is. So there's stuff that, we just go and we just do it. And everyone we're doing it, it's very calm on set when we're going. It's just another day, you know, and we just go and do it. We're just looking for story. Look, I enjoy doing these things. I enjoy preparing about it, and I think about audiences. I think about if I was that kid in that theater seeing that, and I was in that country, and it makes me interested, when I was growing up seeing movies on the big screen, interested in that culture, interested in that country, interested in seeing the world in that way. And those are things that we think about. That drives me, you know, because I am the audience first and foremost, and I think we think of these times right now where there's premieres and you just want to delight the audience.
Well, it 100% comes
Good, I'm
across,
glad.
and you feel the
very glad.
authenticity, and that's something different that you bring to the screen.
Thank you.
That as a viewer we are so grateful of, and
I'm
that is
so
the
glad
magic
to
of
hear that.
cinema.
Thank you.
I know when this film comes out, it will have already been your birthday. I wanted to give you a birthday card
That's
for
really
3rd of
lovely.
July.
Thank you. That's very kind.
No, you're so welcome.
May I open it now?
Yes, you can
Sure,
open
good.
it now. The picture just made me think of sort of the madness of the stunt world.
Phenomenal. I know this shot. There we go. The madness of my life. It's awesome. I love it. The adventure.
That's the adventure.
The great adventure.
It is indeed. So,
You know?
Tom, thank you so much.
Let me see. That's awesome. Aging is mandatory. Maturing is optional. I agree.
100%.
That's lovely. Thank
But
you.
thank you so much.
No,
It
thank
was
you.
an absolute pleasure.